On the back of a bevy of new models, Civic Type R and CR-V, Honda has continued its strategy of regaining some brand image with a better warranty program that stands above Japanese rivals. The new warranty takes effect from July 1, 2017 and applies to all new and demonstrator vehicles sold. The warranty has increased from 3 years (100,000 kilometers) to 5 years unlimited kilometers, although Honda Australia's commercial vehicle warranty covers a limited 5 years (140,000 km). Honda's existing 6-year rust perforation warranty and a 3-year paint warranty carry over. The program, although supported in theory by Honda Japan, is locally funded by Honda Australia, and management believe it will further enhance the brand's image and perception down under. Customer and Communications Manager, Scott McGregor said the move, in conjunction with a strong new model lineup, will regain some of Honda's mojo. "We're getting our mojo back," he said during a conference call. "We see it as an important part of our brand evolution, and especially to younger customers who are new to the Honda brand. Given our history of quality and reliability, this is something we can stand up behind compared to our Japanese competitors." Indeed, the warranty leads the market compared to other Japanese manufacturers who at best offer either 5 years (100,000 kilometers), Mitsubishi, or 3 years unlimited kilometers, Mazda. However, compared to Korean rivals not far from shore, it only equals Hyundai and doesn't beat Kia's impressive 7 years unlimited. Honda Australia Director Stephen Collins added that the improved warranty will increase the perceived value of Honda's vehicles. Given the quality of Honda vehicles, they can sometimes be perceived as more expensive, when this is simply not the case. "We encourage new car buyers to take a look at our pricing, our ownership costs and our new 5-year warranty against the competition. Honda is very competitive. Our new 5-year, unlimited kilometer Honda warranty, combined with Honda tailored servicing, reinforces Honda as a superior ownership proposition ahead of some key rivals," he added. Honda buyers who purchased a vehicle prior to July 1 miss out. However, Collins said that Honda had been running a number of deals to include better warranty during June. "Most of our vehicles in June had offers and had extended warranty anyway. We think we've got to draw a line in the sand somewhere, and July 1 is it," he said.
Lexus is evaluating a diesel-powered version of its mighty LX 4-wheel drive, providing a more fuel-efficient V8 alternative to the V8 petrol-powered model currently available. The LX 450D, a name Lexus has already trademarked for Australia, would be the first diesel-powered Lexus to be sold here. Lexus Australia Chief Executive Peter McGregor told Drive the luxury maker had approached its dealers to ask if there would be demand for a diesel version of the Land Cruiser based off-roader. "We are looking at it from a steady point of view," said McGregor of the car that Lexus has previously evaluated locally. "The big appeal with the diesel engine is its torque, great for towing, and significantly lower fuel use." In the flagship Land Cruiser Sahara, the V8 diesel uses a claimed average of 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers, some 34% less than the 14.4 L/100 kilometers of the Lexus LX 570. But there's a catch. Despite being based on a Toyota Land Cruiser and sharing its basic design with the 8-seat LX 570, the LX 450D would seat only 5 people. The Land Cruiser sourced 4.5-liter twin-turbo diesel engine is heavier than the 5.7-liter petrol V8 used in the LX 570. That extra weight means the LX 450D would not be engineered to carry 7 or 8 people. Yes, the Land Cruiser Sahara uses the same engine and has 3 rows of seats, but the LX gets more luxury kit, adjustable height air suspension and a better sound system with more speakers, for example, all of which get it closer to the GVM, or gross vehicle mass, that is the maximum the car was engineered to carry. So Lexus, with the LX 450D, would likely remove the rear seats and instead offer the car as a 5-seater. The 5-seat LX450D is already available in Russia and New Zealand, so it should be relatively easy to send some to Australia. McGregor said whether the LX450D would be sold here would come down to demand and whether there is a customer requirement for a vehicle like that where they would appreciate the diesel engine but without the 5-seat configuration. He added that if the car had 3 rows of seats it would be a done deal, such as the demand for diesel powertrains in large SUVs. If I could match the specification of the LX570 with a diesel there wouldn't be much of a study to be undertaken, said McGregor. It really comes down to, in the specification we can bring it to market in Australia given the constraints that we're under, is there a market for it? McGregor said initial response from dealers was varied. In conversation with our dealers we have a mixed response. Some people were enthusiastic for it, some people thought the 3rd row of seats was critical, adding that he thought there could be a market for the car. I'm not convinced yet that 7 seats is mandatory but the initial feedback from some of our dealers is that it was. While 3 rows of seats is popular in many family SUVs, including the Toyota Prado and Land Cruiser, the reality is the luxury end of the market doesn't lean on it as heavily. The large, real, Range Rover is the LX's prime competitor, for example, and it is only available with 2 rows of seats. The Range Rover Sport and Land Rover Discovery have up to 7 seats. And many people buying a car such as the Lux diesel often need it for towing or space for 5 for long-distance cruising. Another issue for the LX450D is pricing. It would no doubt be more expensive than the $120,590 Land Cruiser Sahara but, given the positioning of the LX450D in markets such as New Zealand, would logically need to slot below the $140,500 price tag on the LX570.
Lexus Australia is currently investigating demand for a diesel version of its flagship SUV, to sit alongside the current V8 petrol LX570. Despite being available in overseas markets, including New Zealand, and the popularity of diesel engines in large SUVs in Australia, the LX450D hasn't been seen as the right fit for Australian buyers, despite Toyota selling both petrol and diesel variants of the Land Cruiser 200 that the LX is based on. Peter McGregor, Lexus Australia CEO, revealed to TMR that the brand has been in touch with its dealers to see if demand exists for a diesel-powered variant. "We are relooking at it from a study point of view," McGregor said of the diesel variant, which has been evaluated but passed over for Australia previously. A diesel variant would bring a massive improvement in fuel consumption, improving on the 14.4 L/100 km official fuel figures for the LX570 and settling much closer to the 9.5 L/100 km figure of the Land Cruiser Sahara diesel V8. While a diesel engine sounds like a natural fit for the LX range, a potential Australian-bound version wouldn't match the specification of its petrol-powered sibling, being restricted to 5 seats instead of the 8-seat configuration of the LX570. The reason for the reduction comes down to weight, with a heavier diesel engine impacting the LX's gross vehicle mass, or GVM, the maximum weight the vehicle has been engineered to carry. Although the related Land Cruiser is able to offer 3 rows of seats and a diesel engine, the heavier LX with added luxury features, height-adjustable air suspension, and a more comprehensive sound system tips the scales at a point that means it is unlikely to keep its full seating capacity. Overseas markets including Russia and New Zealand have opted to take the LX450D in its 5-seat configuration, but Australia was still being cautious, with McGregor explaining, "If I could match the specification of the LX570 with a diesel there wouldn't be much of a study to be undertaken. It really comes down to, in the specification we can bring it to market in Australia given the constraints that we're under. Is there a market for it?" Dealers haven't been unanimous in their support of a 5-seat LX, despite other luxury SUVs like the flagship Range Rover only coming with 5 seats. Some people were enthusiastic for it, Some people thought the third row of seats was critical, McGregor said. I'm not convinced yet that 7 seats is mandatory, but the initial feedback from some of our dealers is that it was. Pricing could also be a sticking point for the new model, which would be priced above the $120,590 8-seat Land Cruiser Sahara, but as per the example of New Zealand would need to fit in underneath the $140,500 price of the LX570 to reflect its difference in equipment.